All right, welcome back to another episode of the EVP Podcast. I'm DVO,
I'm Ghosty.
and we got our special guest, Steve Hatch here. Yeah. We are at Hatch Family Chocolates in Salt Lake City, and we'll get into why we're here in a moment. But first, Steve,
Yes.
how long have you haven't been in this location, how long have you been in this location?
In this location, 10 or 11 years, about 11 years.
And how long have you been in business?
In April, it will be 20.
Wow,
So
wow.
a few years.
Yeah,
So-
a few years.
Yeah.
You're still learning this, right? Whole chocolatier business.
We might make it. We have potential. We can still go under.
You show signs. Well, that's great. By the way, Ghosty and I are big fans of this place. We love coming here, and especially, and I know we're getting to the holiday season, so right now probably is going to be slammed for you, right?
It's completely slammed.
Yeah,
But
nice.
it's good. I mean, chocolates are good.
All right.
But they're good any year, any time of the year.
Exactly.
Summer, fall, whenever.
I have chocolate year round, so I agree.
I don't stop. I never stop eating chocolate.
So you've been in this, and sorry, so you've been in this location how long now?
Yeah, about 11 years.
About 11 years at this location.
Yeah.
And let's talk about that a little bit. So there's some things happening once in a while, right?
Every once in a while.
Okay, something paranormal maybe.
Well, I mean, okay, so this location, it used to be a grocery store.
Okay.
So back in, like way back when, in the like 20s, 30s, there was a house, there was a restaurant, and then like an Associated Food, an IGA, grocery store. And it was, yeah, so it was kind of here for a while. In 1964, the owners of it, Bill and Bud, they actually knocked down the house, the restaurant. They built a bigger store around the smaller shop to create this current building.
Ah.
So yeah, so then
Okay.
so this building has been here since '64. But I mean, it's this neighborhood and everything is pretty old.
This is a lot of history here. Across the street, we have a hospital across the street.
Yeah.
There's an emergency room right there too.
Yeah, there's some other hospitals not too far from here also.
Well, there was like an old like children's hospital. There was a Shriners Hospital.
Yeah.
There was like all kinds of hospitals in this area.
Now, next door, you share a building with a restaurant next door.
Yeah, they're all in the same building. So it is this building, but I mean separate walls and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
And we went to the restaurant. Also, we were actually asking some of the staff there. You know, have you heard? We talked to a waitress. She seemed she was maybe new to working there. So she mentioned, I haven't really experienced anything. She went and talked to some of the people in the back, and she got some stories. And in fact, one of the managers said, let me talk to these guys. So Ghosty, tell us about what the manager was telling you.
So yeah, the manager Savannah, she came in and talked to us, and she told us about some of the, like the dishwasher. When they'd be leaving at night, they'd be hearing some things going on back there, and they're the only ones in the building. So they get that weird feeling and they bail, they get out of there. They also said that the door going to the brewery would open and close sometimes on its own.
Okay, that's kind of fun.
Yeah, so they talked about, they said that would happen, and I asked if they had that on camera, and they didn't have it on camera. That would have been really cool to have caught that.
And someone said the lights would turn on and off as well.
Yeah, so they also talked about some of the lights turning back on after they were turned off. So some of that's been going on next door.
Well, I mean, so here's my thoughts. My thoughts are, I don't know what people believe or what their beliefs are. My thoughts are, this is their space, man.
Sure.
Like, I mean, so if you spent your whole life in this area, I think that this is still your area when you've gone to the other side. Whatever the other side is, it's here. So, like, in my mind, I just think that it makes sense to me that if somebody spent so much time in this building, they're still probably a part of this
Still attached.
area. Yeah.
And I totally agree with that.
And I don't mean it in
100%.
like a creepy way. I mean, it just like there's shitty people, there's probably shitty ghosts.
There really
Right?
is. There
Like,
really
I
is.
think that, for the most part, they're going to be just how they were when they were alive. So
Yeah.
Yep.
if you're an asshole now,
You're gonna
be an asshole when you're dead.
Right, you don't
Exactly.
change. You don't change all of a sudden.
So let's hear some of the ghost stories that you've had here at your location.
I mean, we've just had just different things. There was like times when I would be downstairs alone and I would, just start whistling. And I'd stop,
You would whistle. Okay.
and somebody would keep whistling.
Wow.
So I'd have, things like that. We'd have, we actually had other people here doing some little ghost studies.
Uh-huh.
They found they were able to talk with spirits, with spirit boxes and things like
okay.
that.
We brought some spirit boxes.
So we're gonna try some of that.
We're gonna do some
we're gonna do some of
investigating
that.
afterwards.
So I won't ruin it yet, like some of them, what they found. But, I just think that, honestly, I just feel that, there's a lot of things like that. We have a ton of cabinets over here, and we've had, like, cabinets with displays and, like, little pastry dishes on it. And, there was actually one morning when the staff were in here setting up for the shop, and this glass, it had a lid, and it had, like, a rim around it, and, in the video, you could just see that they're kind of cleaning around, and they're not really even near this glass lid. In the video, you just see the glass lid lift up and fall to the ground.
Wow.
And, so if it was the wind, it would have taken the whole thing down.
Right.
If somebody had bumped it, it would have taken the whole thing down.
Yeah.
But
Just
it
the
didn't.
lid.
It just did. Just the lid.
Interesting.
So,
Interesting.
there's been things like that.
How much do you think it lifted up, straight up?
It didn't go straight up too hard, just enough to get it clear the rim, and then it dropped. So a couple inches, few inches, but it was kind of at an angle, so you can kind of see it like at an angle and then crashing down.
Wow. Yeah.
I have a
So
video
that's
of that, but
it's a weird
it's not
gust of
like,
wind, yeah.
it's not the greatest video, but
Because it's security camera footage.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
But you can zoom it or however you can you guys will be able to edit it, make it bigger, or there's whatever.
Okay. Interesting. How about like a lot of staff members? They say anything happens like when they're. Is it usually like late at night or no one's much around?
I would say it's what I think. In the day, who's really paying attention?
Because so much is happening.
Yeah, sorry, I swear a lot, so I'm like
okay.
trying to stop myself from dropping the F-bombs. But
we swear too.
So,
It's okay.
but so in the day you're just kind of busy and you're working and you're just doing that kind of stuff. I don't think we pay attention to anything in the day.
Yeah.
Just because we're busy, we're not even really noticing it. There's times when our guys downstairs at night, we actually had an employee that he makes our ice cream.
Okay.
And he was here at night. He would stay a little later. And this night he was just all by himself, and he started hearing like this mumbling, chanting type thing, and he was trying to figure out what it was. And
he was alone.
Yeah, he was alone, and he knew nobody was up here, and
It was in the basement.
Yeah, it was in the basement, but then he actually kind of looked around, and he knew nobody was outside even, and he did what the restaurant said, like he just skedaddled. Right, so he just kind of was like, okay, I'm done, I'm leaving. And then the next day, he happened to come in earlier and work at the shop. And one of our employees actually worked for the grocery store at one time. And so she actually kind of mumbles to herself when she is just concentrating or focusing.
Yeah, makes sense.
And Richard, he was like, that's what I heard. So the ghost was mimicking our employee who they knew.
Yeah.
And so the ghost was mimicking her.
Interesting.
So
interesting.
we've had things like that. We've had where Katie and I were not even in the building at one time, and our employees heard Katie laughing, and they didn't think too much of it because the kitchen's pretty big.
Yeah.
So they just were like, oh, Katie must have come back, and Katie ended up calling for something, and they were like, Katie, when did you get back? And she said, I am not in the building.
Wow.
And so the ghost was mimicking Katie's
So
laughter
there's some mimicking.
also.
So that happened in the daytime, though?
That was in the daytime. Yeah. So that would have been in the
Because
daytime.
I have a theory, like in the daytime, because it's so busy. Like we came in the other day when you first opened, and you guys were getting busy within the first 30 minutes. And I think when it's just kind of busy in the daytime, I think when the spirit's around, my theory is they kind of step back a little bit, like because people are basically walking through them,
Yeah.
and they don't like that. Maybe I wouldn't. So they kind of stay back, hang out, or maybe just go hide in a corner, hide somewhere, maybe the basement. And then when everyone's gone, they can feel free to roam now. Like, oh, now I can kind of roam around and kind of do what I want to do. And maybe they're bored, maybe they want to play. Like, hey, like someone's here, and I'm usually alone now. I can kind of talk to somebody or get a
When it's
reaction.
quiet like that, someone can hear them.
Yeah.
So when the last person's here and it's all quiet, they have no one to talk to, then all of a sudden make a little bit of noise.
Yeah. Well, and
See
you
if
know,
can
like
pee the
this.
pants a little bit.
But I just wish that Bud would learn how to dip chocolates, because like it would make our labor
Yeah.
costs go down a
Yeah.
lot.
If he's gonna be hanging out.
If he could just help us with that, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, put them to work.
But I honestly do. You know, I think that they're. I don't like to go way dark into it, especially with this building. You know, I just think that he was an amazing person, and his son was an amazing person, and they really looked out for the community. And I think for us, they still do that. Like, I think that they still look out for us a lot.
Yeah.
And so I'm not like, I agree with you. Like, I think they're just, you know, they're just hanging out. They're just watching us.
Were they jokesters by chance? Did you know who they were? Bill and Bud?
I met Bud was the original owner, and he passed away way before I ever knew him. And
Okay.
then Bill was actually around until, you know, like 2008,
Okay.
2007ish. So I actually met him once or twice. Their grocery store was really kind of eclectic, because
Okay.
as the bigger grocery store came in, they were obviously way outspent, and they couldn't compete with that. But he was a really good butcher, and he would so he would actually, you know, give families all of these recipes of how to cook their roast, how to do like whatever. That was what he was known for.
Nice.
And he was kind of a prankster, but he had a huge heart.
Yeah.
And so like he actually just did a lot for the neighbors.
Again, I don't know them either, but I'm a little empathic sometimes, and I kind of get that vibe that maybe he was a prankster. That's why I was asking. If you knew much.
I actually think Bud was probably a prankster, just from the stories I've heard. But I think that Bud was maybe a little more of a prankster than Bill.
Yeah, I kind of get that sense. And so maybe that's what we think or maybe assume might or know is still kind of here.
And no offense, like I fit right in, because I think like that's totally what I love to do. So you know, hopefully,
Which might be why they stick around. Like, this is my type of people. These you know, the Hatch family. They're here. They're also doing what I was doing to the neighborhood. You know, a staple, providing, you know, good stuff to the neighboring people and in the city. And so I'm gonna keep hanging out, make sure everything goes good.
I hope so, man. I believe that, okay, the world's hell. It's shitty. It's crazy. There's a lot of stuff going on. And man, there was like some movie I was just watching, and it's like, how do you change the world? And it's like one small miracle at a time. And you know, I really believe in that. And I think that, you know, what we do with our chocolate shop, and you know, for the community, we do that. I do know that they did the same exact thing when they were here. So
Yeah, that's
small
pretty
act.
cool. Yeah.
The one small act of scaring a Dave. Just don't scare me. Like, I just don't want to be freaked out.
Right.
When you're holding chocolates, you got a hot pot of chocolate.
I know, right?
How about Katie? Katie, have any stories that you know of?
You know, she probably does. I don't know all of them.
Okay.
Probably.
Okay. All right.
Those are just some of the main ones I know.
Okay.
I mean, I do have another story, but I just don't. If we're gonna go kind of look around,
Yeah.
I'd rather save that one.
Okay.
Until later.
Yeah.
Okay, did you guys bring a spirit box?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. We brought a few devices, so
Okay.
you know we are going to investigate. We're waiting for Beaker's on his way. He's almost here. We're going to investigate.
And sorry, I'm not looking at you on the camera. Sorry, so you're gonna have
That's
to do
okay.
side. This is my best side anyway.
So we're going to investigate. When we're done investigating, we're going to talk afterwards. We're going to talk about anything we might have discovered. And you know, some people might always think, oh, you're going to ghost hunt. This is probably some evil entity. Not always. We already have an impression that maybe it could be a prankster, just having a good time. You know, we'll find out as we keep investigating. But it doesn't always have to be some spooky thing happening, some demonic entity.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is though.
Sometimes they just want to.
Not in this spot, man.
Yeah.
Not in this spot.
You can feel it, you know. I
This
mean,
is good karma.
how can you be around ice cream and chocolate and just be negative, right? Even if someone was negative, they were an asshole. They come here, they're gonna
well,
change.
actually, so maybe you should ask him if they can smell the chocolate, because maybe. But is that torture, or do they like? I mean, can they still partake of the chocolate when I'm not
Right.
around, or
Yeah.
do they like? I would, you know.
Right.
Maybe that could be hell.
Yeah,
So
because
that could
you
be,
smell it and you can't have it.
Yeah. So
That's a good point.
you're gonna have to do some asking on that.
Yeah, we definitely will. All right, so thank you, Steve, for letting us come here and hang out. Let's get into it.
Yeah, we'll stop this here and then we'll be back after we investigate.
Talk to you soon.
All right.
Whoop, whoop.
Now I'm recording.
Say that again.
On demand is trying to respond to you.
Is our dog with you?
Bud, are you down here, Bud? Are you able to try to communicate with us?
I won't let them mess with you. But you can talk.
Are you sending something on your phone?
No.
This just went off. Is somebody trying to come over this way to communicate with us? Can you make this change colors in my hand?
Okay.
Can you make that light up again for me? You hit your phone. I don't know if when you hit your phone that did something.
So this one's bouncing around from like nothing to 0.3.
So that's picking up 2, yeah.
Oh, it just went up to 1.
Bud, do you like the chocolate shop? Are you gonna talk to me? But if Kate was here, you would talk to her.
Said something. There was something there. We'll catch that when we'll pay that back. This just went off too.
Oh,
I know. You would talk to Kate. Or would you talk to Chris?
Something just got here. I could feel something. Can you make this light up again, please?
this way.
Can you say what your name is?
How many people are here?
There was something that was like really low toned and went across multiple. Like there. Can you hear those whispers? Are you whispering? Can you talk up? Can you speak up a little louder, please? Yeah, like that. Can you do that? Can you talk like that, please?
Yeah, I think I saw it. I thought I heard sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's what we like. Thanks for doing that. Can you tell us what your name is? What year is it?
Sure.
How many spirits are here?
Four.
4. That's what I heard.
Can you confirm the number 4?
I mean, there's an answer. I don't know what it said.
That's it, yeah.
Is it 2 kids?
Keep it to.
Is there 2 kids here? Or something, yes. What are their names?
Steve, directly above us is that the shop. Your shop directly above us.
Pretty close to
Okay.
That sound there is like
Yeah. It
this direction.
sound. Yeah. Oh, this just flickered.
But are you okay that we're here? Is this my home too?
lot of whispers on this.
Can you guys talk louder?
Do you guys like the smell of chocolate?
That's loud. When it comes to ice cream, do you prefer vanilla or chocolate? Ooh.
Or do you prefer the beer from next door?
Hear the Echo Box? Alright, let's try the Echo Box.
Okay, we just finished investigating Hatch Family Chocolates. Hey, look, Beaker joined us.
Whoa, I'm here.
He's here now.
I'm magic.
The magic of video editing.
Yay, we're podcasting.
But we've been investigating about, what, hour and a half or so?
We got a little over an hour.
Yeah. Mostly down the basement, where Steve has talked about maybe, we might get some more, I don't know, evidence, I guess you could say. So let's talk about our evidence. After investigating, you guys have any impressions off the bat first? They want to share
Impressions, as in.
from the investigation.
You were bored.
Yeah, so bored. No, that was badass. We got some cool interaction. We got some really cool interaction.
I mean, right away, Beaker was feeling two child entities right away. Right?
Yeah, right from when I walked in the door, I'm like, there are 2 kids downstairs.
So we went downstairs, but let's find out. And who came? Oh, so we were doing a spirit box that we were doing.
Yeah.
At the beginning.
We're using the S Box. It's made by Ghost Stop. Check out our affiliate link on our Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that.
Support our sponsor.
Go buy some gear from Ghost Stop and help us make money.
These multiple items
we
from
need
Ghost Stop
look,
tonight.
yeah, a lot of stuff. Almost everything I own is from Ghost Stop. Go buy stuff there. We need that yacht.
One day it'll come.
Our ghost yacht.
We need the ghost yacht. We'll take you on a ghost yacht.
What about the ghost canoe?
We can
That's where our budget's at now.
Ghost canoe.
we'll take you on the ghost canoe down the Jordan River.
That's about where we're at right
We might
now.
find some dead bodies.
Or make some.
Create something.
So with the S box, Ghosty was asking some questions. You could hear little things come in, but when Steve started asking questions, I feel like things would pipe up more.
They really responded to him.
Yeah.
And I was hearing a lot of whispering, and it sounded like it was coming.
They
across
were
a lot.
probably saying Steve is an asshole. Is what they were whispering. Like, Steve is an ass.
I doubt that part.
It's like, check his browser history.
Wait, no.
But there was one, and I just posted on our stories right now. There was one where Steve asked how many spirits are here. Little pause, and it
We
sounded
heard
like
4.
yeah,
I
we heard
heard
4 come through.
Yeah.
So we heard that Beaker wasn't with us at that moment. It was just the 3 of us. You were on the phone.
I heard the 4, and
Oh,
then
you
that's when
did?
the phone
Okay.
rang. But like I picked up on 3 right away. There was a gentleman that's I felt like was upstairs. He's not here now. I think he came downstairs.
Yeah, he's
'cause
downstairs.
He was checking out all the stuff. He's like, these guys are doing cool stuff. Let's go see what's going on. So I picked up on the 2 kids downstairs. There was a guy up here. So I only picked up on 3. But we got 4 on the S box. And then that's when unfortunately, Brandy was ding. We don't have the bell. She was going to be here tonight, but she had a family emergency, wasn't able to come. But she called to let me know kind of what was going on. And I said, hey, can I borrow you for a minute? She can do the astral projection thing. And she came here. And I said, can you tell us how many spirits are here, Randy? We kind of have an idea. And she said, there's 3 human entities and 1 non-human entities. So
Which equals
4
If you're
spirits.
good at math.
And she didn't hear any of that.
No,
Right.
Right. She wasn't here for any of this.
No, she was actually on her way back up to the hospital with her dad. So, yeah, she confirmed that there were 4 spirits here. Before, like I was talking to Steve, and I told him that I felt like there were 2 children. One was probably like 6 or 7, and I said one was probably 8 or 9. And when I asked Brandy the age of the kids, she said the little girl was 7 and the little boy was 9 years old.
Yeah. So yeah. So that nice confirmation from her.
And then I was picking up that little boy was hanging out by that small piano. So I went and put that flux over there, and right off the bat it started getting messed with. And it was on the other side of the room, not going off whatsoever. Like, it was on for a good half hour, not being messed with, not going off. As soon as I moved it by the small piano, it starts playing with the green side. And you're recording it, and I asked it to come on the other side and light up the red side so we can ask it questions. As soon as I did that, it lights up red. But everything I'm asking, it just keeps playing with the green side. I ask it again to light up the red side just to make sure he's there. Going right as I asked it to, lights up the red. Pretty cool. It was a pretty cool interaction.
Yeah, I just posted it on our story, but we will post it on our social media. So make sure you're following us at edp.pod because we'll upload these videos as well on our social media.
And after that,
You rushed over to tell me how cool it was, and I just looked at you and said, "Why did you stop?"
because I want you guys to see how cool that was.
So I say, let's try something. I'm like, go put the REM pod over there, because I've had the REM pod on pretty much since we started.
And it never
investigation.
went off too.
So again, about a half hour.
And tell them what's a REM pod. Tell
So
them.
the REM pod is basically just like
Motion or touching. get real
it's
close
kind
to
of
it.
an EMF. Well, it's the Mel meter with the REM pod, so it has an EMF meter on it. It's got a little antenna that comes off the top, and even on the highest setting, you have to be like right close to this antenna, almost touching it to get it to go off. So I had Ghost to go put it over by the little piano, and
And it's like a good 2 feet in front of it. Like it's out in the middle of like
There's nothing around.
yeah,
it.
nothing around it for a good like 3-4 foot circumference.
and I had him go set it over there, and he came back to where we were. We were actually kind of down the hall and around the corner, so we weren't even in view of it. We just had it to where it's
could
loud
hear it.
enough we could hear it, and almost instantly when he came back over, when it was unattended, you just hear the REM pod start going off. And
Quite a few times.
And my dumb ass, I tried to set up my phone to record it and accidentally hit the stop button, so I got a whole,
Oh, you recorded it. Stops.
I recorded it and stopped. I got a whole half hour of nothing.
But we got it on the voice recorder. But yeah, it went off a lot. It kept going off, and like I said, you have to be right up on that thing, touching it in order for it to go off.
What I thought was cool was you noticed this on your K2. Right before the REM pod would go off, your K2 would spike.
Yeah.
So I pulled out my K2, and the next time I did it, both of our K2s spiked, and then the REM pod started going off.
Which were 5 feet away from each other.
Yeah.
Your
No,
K2 from the
further,
REM pod.
way further away.
Yeah.
Well,
Good.
his K2 and my K2 were probably a good 5 feet, and I was probably about 10 feet away from the REM pod, if not more.
I'd say you and I were a good 10 to 15 feet away, and the REM pod was about another 20 feet away.
And I'm standing up holding this, so I've got this about like 5 feet in the air, and the REM pod's on the floor.
Yeah.
But yeah, the K2s would go off, and then the REM pod would go off.
Does that tell you guys that it's using a lot of energy to do that then?
It must be drawing like energy.
Pulling energy from something. Well, the thing is like, they got the refrigerators and stuff on there.
Yeah.
And it seems like when those kicked in, that's when it would pull energy from those.
Ah.
I think you would pull energy from the refrigerators, because there's a ton of energy down there for the sources for them to tap into.
What's your electric bill, Steve?
Pretty good.
Draining your energy.
Pretty good.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome.
No, but I didn't tell you before. So another ghost hunter came,
Yeah.
and Heather at one point, and Heather had one of those spirit boxes or shadow boxes, but one of those boxes. And as we were talking at that time, there was like 3 or 4 spirits, but we asked them. We were just asking who was there, and they were kind of saying names, and I heard a bark, and it was a bark, and I've never heard a bark on anybody's spirit box or shadow box, and I heard a bark, and I was like, that kind of sounded familiar, and we asked if there was a dog there, and you could hear the spirit laugh and say, "You can say that," and they laughed and said, "You can say that." Our dog, Kate's and my dog, had passed away just like a month before. So like in my mind, I was like, it was Bella, and it was her bark, and it was kind of interesting because I've never ever heard that like on any other like spirit boxes or shadows or anything, and I just thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, a bark come through. That's a new one. I haven't heard
So
that.
bark, yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Bella the dog's in this building. So actually every night I will say goodnight to Bella, Bill, and Bud. So I say goodnight to them as I leave.
Yeah, I mean,
I did feel,
yeah, go ahead.
I did feel like I was talking to Bill. He wasn't in the building. I kind of get that he kind of patrols the outside, just kind of make sure the stuff
It's
doesn't.
probably just all over.
Yeah, most likely. Right now, like tonight, I haven't felt him in the building. I felt him outside, just kind of keeping an eye on things.
I mean, Brandy did say at one point, like, yeah, that there's an inhuman spirit. Do you know what that means, or?
It's a spirit that's never had a physical body. You know, people when they hear inhuman spirit, they automatically think
Demonic. Yeah.
evil, Satan, and that's not always the case. There are good inhuman spirits and there are negative inhuman spirits.
Like an angel. An angel never probably didn't have a body, right?
Right.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you believe in fairies, sprites, all that stuff. But,
Yeah.
there are like elementals. There's good elementals and there's bad elementals. Those would all be considered inhuman spirits.
Got it, got
Because
it.
they never physically had a body. Like if you've got a spirit that looks like a tree, like an earth elemental,
Okay.
Yeah,
like
Groot.
like Groot, right? He's not human.
Uh-huh.
He would be inhuman. It's just
Got it.
non-human.
I'm
So
a human. I mean,
Kind of.
yeah,
He's
pretty
sentient.
He has
emotional.
a soul.
he's definitely sentient, but
You can feel a lot through Groot.
But so it's more of a like a trickster spirit that just kind of like just to play jokes. He's not malevolent, not malicious in any way. Just likes to run around and play tricks on people.
It's the Flash.
I didn't really feel
Flash
that one,
ghost.
though, did you?
Which
Not much.
I couldn't pick up on that.
which Brandy mentioned, like it might be that's a little bit mischievous. Well, you weren't here. That Steve actually told us a story of like some like.
I'll send you the videos.
Okay, of a spirit like taking off the lid off of a container, dropping it. Just kind of.
That could have been that spirit.
Right.
Oh yeah, totally.
so yeah, definitely. Anyway, yes, we have some good evidence. We'll post it on our social media.
So we did.
Oh, I was gonna
Oh,
say,
yeah.
we did try to do like a little bit of a EVP session, and
Oh,
sounded
yeah.
sounded like there were some whispers going on.
Do you remember
back-
your question? Put your-
I don't remember it off the top. Yeah, will you do that for me since it's getting mad? Just rub it.
You remember, but there was a question you asked, and you hear
It's
some
something like,
whispering.
do you like playing with the piano or something?
Yeah, oh
like
yeah,
that?
how to do
So-
something like
Yeah,
that.
it's like there's two pianos down there. One's a little kid piano that Steve was going to use as a prop. Another is like an old-fashioned looking piano that one of your employees, is that right, Steve? They wanted to kind of
Yeah, they were gonna redo it.
redo it, but you guys seem drawn to the larger antique-looking piano.
Well, it's funny is like we didn't say anything to each other about it. We both went over there and kind of checked it out separately because we both were kind of drawn to that piano.
Yeah, that was like the first thing I asked him when after doing a lap down there in the basement.
Well, yeah, when you guys were kind of setting up a little bit, and when we first got like the flux and the REM pod out,
Uh-huh.
like I walked over there and was checking out the piano. I'm like, there's some energy off this. I
Interesting.
actually held my pendulum above it, and my pendulum started
Oh.
circling. You saw that one.
Mhm.
So yeah, there was definitely some energy coming off the piano. We didn't really investigate it too much, but because the kids started playing with the flux and the REM pod, we were like, oh, hey, this is cool.
A lot.
Yeah.
A
Lights
lot.
are going off.
Yeah.
Shiny.
We're getting a lot of interaction on that.
In fact, speaking of your pendulum beaker, you were using it quite a bit trying to communicate with one of the spirits.
Yeah, so Steve got it from another investigator. The name of the little boy was most likely Travis. So I was able to confirm that with a pendulum. He told me his name was Travis. So we kind of started digging a little bit deeper. We wanted to see why Travis was here. We wanted to see if he died, like, because LDS Hospital is like right next door. So I kind of get,
Yeah.
I kind of get the feeling that spirits like wander over from here because this place has got a good vibe. It's got good energy.
And it's not chocolate.
It's got chocolate.
And ice cream.
Like, why would you not want to come? here?
Milkshakes.
Come buy stuff. He's got dog treats too. I want to buy some of those. Not for me.
For your Squatch
For my
relatives.
Squatch, my Squatch relative. For my Squatch
Eat
relatives.
them on the way home.
This has got peanut butter, man.
You
I
can
like
eat 'em.
peanut butter. So yeah, I was able to confirm that he did not die in the hospital next door. This is the 9-year-old. From what we kind of gathered with the pendulum, that was that he lived in one of the neighboring neighborhoods. He lived in the area. And he used to come in here with his parents to come and get candy and chocolate and whatnot. And I didn't get a whole lot of details as to what happened other than he died in a car accident. It's kind of
Okay.
what I got. So is the pendulum always accurate? Not 100%,
Right.
but
would he know how to use it? Maybe, maybe not. So but that's just what we.
that's
got
just kind of what I determined. I mean, I was getting yes and no's. Like I asked him because the flux was kind of going off at one point. I was just doing the green side, so I had Ghosty turn it. So the green was, because originally the green was facing away from us, the red side was facing us. I had him turn it, and again, it was still just the green side going off. So I kind of got the pendulum out and I asked him real quick, do you like the color green? Is it your favorite color? And I got a yes. And then I asked if he liked red, and it said no. So it's possible he just didn't like red, so he wasn't lighting up the red side.
Maybe.
But he was also, maybe he was like, I'm bored with them. I'm done with them.
It's possible. I've seen that happen.
You did ask that question. Are you getting bored? And I was also getting the impression maybe he was just getting tired because of all the energy he was producing to do all this.
That's true.
So he might have been getting bored and tired. Like, I'm done with this. You guys are asking the same questions. I'm over it.
I'm gonna go back to the piano.
Yeah, yeah. I want to play with my toys. Yeah, I just want to play with the toys. Yeah, there's a few toys down there. So
He did say with the pendulum, he said he did recognize Steve. He never talked to him, but he did recognize him. So this has got to be within the last. You've been here 12 years, you said. So this kid had to have passed away within the last 12 years because he remembers seeing him coming in when he came and got candy. So
right. Very cool. Very fun. Yeah, good evidence. So we'll post.
Well, now I'll give you the video too of
Yeah,
what we
please.
talked about earlier
Yeah.
with the glass dish.
Yeah, that would be good.
So,
That would be good. Yeah, looking forward to that. All right. Well, thank you guys and fun investigating.
All right.
Anything else you guys want to mention about the investigation?
I don't know if they still do this. I know in the past I've come and done like Grim Ghost Tours, the tour bus. I know on the Christmas tour they've come up here. I don't know if they still do that or not.
Yeah, not since COVID, but I think it's still on the tour. They just kind of go outside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was really super excited to come here just because I remember this being like the first stop, the first time I went on the Ghost Tour years ago. That was kind of like when I first decided to start investigating, and this being like one of the first stops. It's actually really cool to be here to investigate it.
But I actually did want to add. So I mean, we talked about this. I think everybody believes that ghosts are just spooky and scary
Right.
and evil and all that, and I don't. I mean, we kind of nailed it earlier. I do think that the ghost here or the presence here are very supportive, very uplifting, and they just like the good vibe.
Yeah,
and
you feel it.
And I think the previous owners do watch after this building, and
I agree.
They
Think so,
love it.
too.
So
Yeah.
it's only good, happy thoughts here.
Hell yeah, chocolate and rainbows over
Was
here.
I was telling you, I was getting from, I think it was Bill I was chatting with. He said he likes what you're doing here. He says he likes that you're bringing families together, and especially around the holidays.
Yeah, you talked about it, and they were huge on that. Like they loved the holidays, so they would decorate their store for the holidays.
Yeah.
So it definitely loves what you got going on here. And I think I told you, I said, I don't know if you have kids or if you plan on having kids, but they definitely hope that you at least pass this store on
To somebody.
to somebody that keeps this going. They don't want to see this stop. So they really love what you got going on here.
Good.
Yeah.
Let's keep doing it.
Yeah, more chocolate. All right, everybody, thanks for watching or listening, but we love y'all. Go Steve, don't play that.
Peace out, butterflies.
Thank you,
out.
Steve. Thanks, everybody.